Hello students, this is science and today we will explain about the tissues chapter. Okay, this is chapter 6 tissues part 1 plant tissue. So today I will explain about the plant tissue and later I will discuss about the animal tissue. Okay, so let's start. List of topics to be covered in this videos. I will explain about the introductory part of the tissue, plant tissue, meristematic tissue, permanent tissue, simple permanent tissue, complex permanent tissue and protective tissue. Okay, so these are the topics we will cover in this lecture. Okay, first of all, we should know that what is cell. So in previous lecture, I have explained about the cells in detailed. Okay, this is your cells and more than one cell makes tissues. You know that very well. And combination of more than tissues makes organ and it makes organ system. And when organ system is developed, then whole body is formed. Okay, or we can say that organism are formed. So we all have different system operating in our body. If we look at the hierarchy of organization, we see that it is okay. So this is the hierarchy. Okay, we studied about the cells. If we talk about the cell, before the cell what formed, so molecule and it molecule is formed with the help of atoms. So we will start from the cell. Okay, and after cell we will discuss about the tissue. So my dear students, in this lecture we will discuss about the plant tissues. Okay, so we will study about the tissue in two parts that I have explained, that plant tissue and animal tissue. Okay, so in this lecture we will discuss about the plant tissue. So my dear students, plant tissue is of two types. There are mainly two types, that is a meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. So you know that in meristematic tissue, the what is meristematic tissue? So the tissue which have the capability to divide the cells, are in the tissues in which the cell division takes place is called meristematic tissue. So we can write here cell division takes place. Okay, but in case of permanent tissue, the power, they have lost the power to divide the cells. Okay, they lost the power of division of cell, lost the power to divide the cell. Okay, to divide the cell. Okay, so first of all we should know that what is meristematic tissue. Okay, so my dear students, in this picture you can see that they divide continuously. This is the nucleus portion and in this cytoplasm also present. So first of all we should read this sentence: they divide continuously throughout life. They divide continuously throughout life and help in increasing the length and girth of the plant. Okay, so as I have discussed about that they continuously divide and help in increasing the length and girth of the plant. Okay, length and girth of the plant. This is the girth portion, you know, and length, you also know that what is length. So meristematic tissue is made up of cellulose. Which kind of tissues they made? They made up of cellulose. Okay, and in meristematic tissue the cellulose is thin walled. Okay, this is the covering of the cellulose. So this is made of thin cellulose. Okay, we can say this is made of, meristematic tissue are made up with thin cellulose cell walls. The meristematic cells may be spherical. Right now we are talking about the shape of the meristematic tissue. So it is spherical in shape, oval in shape, polygonal shape or rectangular in shape. So these are the shapes, these are types of the shapes of meristematic tissues, and they are compactly arranged, means there is no intercellular spaces, there is no intercellular spaces. there is no intercellular spaces, as you seen in picture that there is no any gaps in between the cells. So there is no intercellular spaces are found in meristematic tissue. Okay, each meristematic tissue, each meristematic cells contains dense abundant cytoplasm. Means in this the cytoplasm is present in more much amount. Okay, and a single large nucleus, as you see, this is the nucleus portion, and in between them cytoplasm are present. Okay, the meristematic cells contain few vacuoles or no vacuoles at all. Means that sometimes the vacuoles are present in meristematic tissue and sometimes it is not. Occurrence where the meristematic tissues are found. So my dear students, you know that there are three parts in meristematic tissue where it is found. Apical meristematic tissue, as you see in picture, apical, intercalary and lateral meristematic tissue, intercalary and lateral meristematic tissue. So as name suggests that where it is found, you know that apical means apex. So root apex and shoot apex, root and shoot apex is the part where apical meristematic tissue are found. Okay, and after that if you talk about the intercalary meristematic tissue, so you can see in picture, this is the portion. Means suppose this is the portion where the leaves are arises. Okay, one leaves from here, one leaves from here. Okay, so this portion is called, this portion is called what? Node. This portion is called node. Okay, so intercalary meristematic tissue rises from the node. If you talk about in between the nodes, so internodes are present. In between the nodes, internodes are present. Internodes. Okay, and lateral, what causes the lateral meristematic tissue? So dear student, it increases the girth of the plant. Means in, we can say that the width of the plant. Apical apical meristematic tissue present in shoot and root apex, intercalary for increasing the, or we can say the development of the leaves. Okay, and lateral meristematic tissue for increasing the girth of the plant. Okay, so these are the three parts: apical, lateral and intercalary. Okay, what the causes, what the causes we should read in this, like in this PDF. Okay, apical meristematic tissue. What is apical meristematic tissue? Means it is present at growing tip of stems, roots. Okay, it is present at growing tip of stems and roots. It shoot apex the root apex. Means growing tip of stem and roots and form shoot apex and root apex. Okay, if you talk about the function of the apical meristematic tissue, so my dear students, it increases in the height of the plant. Means it increases the height of the plant. Okay, what is lateral meristematic tissue? Lateral, lateral found beneath the bark. Beneath the bark it is found, lateral meristematic tissue. Means called cork cambium. Beneath the bark it is called cork cambium. Okay, and it helps in increasing the diameter. Lateral meristematic tissue diameter. Okay, it increases the diameter of the plant. And what causes intercalary meristematic tissue? So this is the portion, you can see intercalary meristematic tissue located at the base of the leaves, where the leaves are arises. This is the base of the leaf. Okay, this is the base of the leaves. So located at the base of the leaf, here intercalary meristematic tissue are found. Or we can say that our internode, that it is stem of grasses. Function, it increases the number of branches. Means what is the function of intercalary meristematic tissue? It increases the number of branches. It increases the number of branches. Okay, permanent tissue. After meristematic tissue, we will talk about the permanent tissue. So these tissue are derived from the meristematic tissue. First of all, we should know that these permanent tissue are derived from the meristematic tissue, but their cell wall have lost power of division. Focus on this point. But their cell have lost the power of division, so it is called permanent tissue. These are the two types. They are the two types: simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissue. Simple and complex. Simple is divided into three parts. You know that: parenchyma, sclerenchyma and collenchyma. Okay. Complex forms xylem and phloem. Complex tissue form xylem and phloem. Permanent tissue, simple permanent tissue. What is simple? First of all, we should know that what is simple. Simple means they are made up of one type of cell. They are made up of one type of cell, so they are called simple permanent tissue. Okay, so these tissue are composed of cells which are structurally and functionally similar. Okay, they are structurally and functionally similar in nature, and these are all made of one type of cell. So these are called the simple permanent tissue. Okay, what is complex tissue? They are made up of more than one type of cell. That's why they are called complex tissue. Okay, they consist of xylem and phloem. Complex tissue consists of xylem and phloem. So you know that what is the function of xylem in plants? They transport the what? Minerals. They transport the minerals in the plants. Okay, and what is the function of phloem? They transport the food material to the plant. Transport food material to the plant. Simple permanent tissue. Okay, what is simple permanent tissue? These are the three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. So we will discuss one by one. Parenchyma. What is parenchyma? The cell wall is thin and encloses a dense cytoplasm which contains a small nucleus. Inside these cells, nucleus are also present. So they are here, dense cytoplasm are present. Okay, dense cytoplasm are present and one nucleus is also present. There are intercellular spaces present, means in between the two cells there are some gaps, so we can say that intercellular spaces are present. Okay, the cells are round shaped isodiametric shapes. Means what is the meaning of isodiametric? They are equally expanded on all sides. They are equally expanded on all sides. That's why they are called isodiametric. The parenchymatous cells are oval, round, polygonal or elongated in shape. So these are the shape of the parenchymatous cells. Occurrence, where it is found? It is found in stem, roots, leaves, flowers and fruits. They are widely distributed in plants bodies such as stems, roots, leaves, flowers and fruit. So this is the occurrence of the parenchymatous cells, where they are found in stem, roots, leaves, flowers and fruits. Function of parenchyma. What is the function? Allow gaseous exchanges. It allows gaseous exchanges. Okay, stores waste product of plants. It stores waste products of plants. If chloroplast is present in parenchyma tissue, it is called chlorenchyma. When chloroplast is present in the parenchymatous tissues, so it is called chlorenchyma. Okay, and you know that chloroplast is play an important role for performing photosynthesis. Okay, so this is the function of the parenchyma, and you know that these are the spaces. Air sacs are present. You can see in picture These are the some species are present which helps in the buoyancy of the which gives the buoyancy of the plant, means they float on the water bodies or water surface. So in hydrophytes, large air cavities presents in hydrophyte plants, large air cavities present called aerenchyma. Aerenchyma. So this is the large spaces, air spaces present, and the term is called aerenchyma that provide buoyancy to the plant, means they float on the water bodies or water surfaces. Okay. Collenchyma. What is collenchyma? They are living in nature, means the cells are living and characterized by the deposition of extracellulose at the corners of the cell. Here extracellulose are present. Okay, at the corners extracellulose are present. You can see intercellular spaces are generally absent. Here there is you can see there is no intercellular spaces are present. So in collenchyma, they are living in nature. Extra deposition of cellulose at the corners of the cells. Generally, the spaces are intercellular spaces are present in between the cells. Okay. Function of collenchyma. What is the function of collenchyma? Okay. So you know that it provides mechanical support and elasticity. Mechanical support means it gives the strength to the plant and allows bending of plants part without actually breaking them. So elasticity means it allows bending of plant parts without actually breaking them. The plants does not break, and it gives the elasticity. Collenchymatous cells give the elasticity to the plant. Okay. Some cells of collenchyma also have chloroplast, and you know that if the chloroplasts are present, then photosynthesis process will occur and makes the food, sugar and starch. Now sclerenchyma, they are dead cells. They are dead cells. The walls are greatly thickened and deposition of lignin. So this cell wall is made up of lignin. Sclerenchymatous cell wall is made up of lignin. Okay, so and there is no intercellular spaces. You can see in picture, no intercellular spaces are present in sclerenchyma. No intercellular spaces are present. Deposition of lignin here, you can see, and these are the dead cells. This is the lignin. You can see this is the lignin, and these are the dead cells. These are the two types, sclerites and fibers. Sclerenchyma is of two types, sclerites and fibers. What is sclerites and what is fiber? This is sclerites. Okay, this structure is your sclerites, and this is a fiber structure. They consist of very long, narrow, thick and lignified cells. These are the cells, narrow, okay, and depositions of lignin here. Okay, the cells lignin are deposited. Okay, fibers, they are usually pointed at both ends. These are the two ends you can see, and they are the pointed at both the sides. They are irregular shaped in both fibers and sclerites. Okay, so these are the pointed ends in fibers, and here the deposition of lignin occur. Okay, now husk of coconut is made of sclerenchymatous tissue. You know, husk of coconut is made up of sclerenchymatous tissue, so it is very important to remember. And function, what is the function? Function is mechanical and protective in nature. Means it provides the strength of the plant and protection. It gives to the protection to the plant. Okay, so this is the this is all about your sclerenchyma, parenchyma and collenchyma. In next videos I will explain the remaining things. So thank you for watching. Thank you.